How's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel. We got chapter 27 of Kaiju number 8 today, and this is probably my favorite chapter of the entire series so far. Thanks quite a lot in part to my number one favorite character, Hoshina, but we got a little bit to get through before we get into his great stuff that happens basically the entire second half of the chapter. First, we get a little bit of hype from Kafka finally going on in this whole grand battle we got. He uses partial transformation to speed over to one of his compatriots. I don't know the best word to use in this scenario. Co-workers, whatever. Comrade. Screw it. We'll go with the Russian one. Comrade! That was not a Russian. Anyway, he speeds over to a girl named Minase to save her from a kaiju, and he's pretty quick about it. Use partial transformation, and I don't think he showed any actual outward appearance of his kaiju form. He looked like he was purely just human. I don't know if his legs were transformed a little bit underneath his suit, like just the skin level. Either way, this was nice to see that Kafka's able to look human and still kind of keep up with other people a little bit. So that's good. That's good. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Kafka. Maybe he'll get to the point where he can just use partial transformation and have it be disguised as battle power from the suit. That would be great, because it would allow him to keep up in human form and not have to rely on turning into a kaiju when nobody can see him and jumping in and doing something and jumping out and getting away before anybody sees him. So that would be awesome. I will say, though, saw a little bit of lightning coming off him. A little bit of that, I assume, in bluish Kaiju number 8 form lightning. Chill, Kafka. Chill. Gonna have to wind that lightning down a little bit. That's a little bit of a giveaway. I don't know if other people in the universe can see that. I'm assuming they can. So yeah. Back just a little bit. Because Minase actually says something. She's like, oh, Mr. Hibino, you can use your suit now. And he's just like, yeah, well, I'm a general officer, so the bare minimum I can do is use the suit. But before he really has to go in and bail himself out, Kikaru shows up, and I'm assuming this is the water skimmer she did last time, and this is kind of going back to see what Kafka was doing at that moment, because it looks almost the exact same as the panel from last chapter when she used water skimmer. So I'm guessing it was kind of just, hey, this was happening while you were going on reading last chapter. Which that was awesome to see. Good, nice hype moment from Kafka. Kikaru actually tells him, hey, me and Reno got this. Make sure you tend to the injured. Get them to safety. And obviously Kafka's fine with that. He doesn't care what he's doing to help. He just wants to help. He doesn't care if he's relaying information about the type of kaiju they're fighting. He doesn't care if he's getting an injured person to safety. He doesn't care if he's fighting a kaiju. Whatever it is to help, he's going to do it. That's just the type of person Kafka is in scenarios like this. Which is good. That's a good person to have around. It's tough when you have people that need to do one thing, but really only want to do this specific thing. Anyway, moving on from that, Reno tells him, like, hey, don't do anything reckless. Remember, you're an officer now. Trust your allies. Trust us. Have confidence in us. We can do this. Kind of underhandedly telling him, I think at least, hey, chill with the kaiju stuff. Hold it back a little bit. If we need it later, we can use it. We got it. No need to transform. Just chill and help out. I got this, man. So that kind of shot Kafka awake a little bit. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot. These are all people who are very strong around me. These are not people I need to protect all the time. So going on from there, we get all kinds of backup coming in. We got the Nakanoshima squad, or platoon, the Ibina platoon, the Itakura platoon, and the Takayo platoon. I don't know, I think that one's probably my worst pronunciation out of the 4. But that last one actually is a sniper platoon that is using freeze rounds to shoot down any airborne kaiju. Kind of like Reno did last chapter. So maybe that would be a decent platoon for Reno to kind of work his way into later in the future. That might work well for him. You never know. There's no need or no really rule that says 2 platoons can't work together. They all seem to be working together pretty much, so Not like he couldn't still interact with all our other characters. But we might just have this, maybe the Shinomaya platoon's just going to be all our recruits and Kafka and everybody. I'd be fine with that too. Just thought it was kind of interesting that they seem to be using the same exact thing Reno's using. Might be somewhere he goes later. Never know. Anyway, yeah, these are all veteran platoons. These are all people who've been around, know what they're doing. This is good backup. Some of them have already cleared out certain areas and made them safe. So yeah, this is actually pretty impressive, and Kafka's even impressed by everybody. He says they're all so impressive. Not just Shinomaya, not just Reno. Everybody is so amazing, and really they are. When you think about the fact that this was a ambush, this was a sneak attack in the middle of the night, most people were sleeping. All these veteran platoons were off duty. They weren't even there. They had to show up later. They're missing their number one captain. Like, the top person on the base is not here. Your biggest, strongest fighting force is gone. And this is how well they're handling this. We haven't seen a whole lot of major casualties. We know some fodder have gotten blown up in the initial attack. We saw one in particular a few chapters ago. But this has been handled extremely well, and it kind of seems like they're getting the Kaiju on the back foot a little bit here. This chapter seems to be like the major pushback, where they get their footing, and now the real fight is on. And with how impressive they've been just in getting their footing, I don't think that the 3rd Division is going to slow down anytime soon in this fight. And with that being said, we get on to another person who doesn't think the platoon is going to slow down, or the division. Sorry. Anyway, Hoshina, he tells Kaiju number 10, he goes, "You picked the wrong customers to scrap with. We're winning this fight." And yeah, it kind of looks like they are. I'm not even saying he's being overly confident in that. It just straight up seems like they're gonna win. Especially when we get into what's about to happen. Because, oh my god. This is why Hoshina is number 1. This whole second half of this chapter is just too much. It's too much. He's baby shaking this dude right now. If you've seen King of Lightning, you know what I'm talking about. He's baby shaking him. He just sitting this boy down for the second half of this chapter, and it's amazing. Because to start off this wonderful fight, after lopping off this dude's arm last time, Hoshina immediately goes in, ducks under, left hook? And just cuts straight through under this dude's chest plate. Literally the little gap right under there, straight through it. And then he gets probably 4 or 5 more cuts on him. And this guy realizes he is hitting the gaps in my armor with precision. Now, the way he says it makes it sound very impressive because, well, it is. However, this guy doesn't actually think it's that impressive and says he can deal with this easily as long as he knows what Hoshina is trying to do. So he clenches up all the gaps in his scales and his plates and his armor. That is basically just his skin. And he tries to say that Hoshina doesn't impress him. After last chapter, talking about, oh, well, most people can't scrap with me, Kaiju and people included. I'm going to enjoy feasting on you, and then gets his arm lopped off. And now he's going to say he doesn't impress him? I'm going to tell you right now, you get one thing and one thing only for this disservice, this disrespect that you have shown my man Hoshina. And that is you get your shit wrecked. 100%. He doesn't impress you? Alright, that's fine. You want to clench up your armor? Alright, that's fine. Don't care. Not going for that at all. Yes, literally all these cuts in his armor were just diversions. He wanted him to focus on that, and I'm assuming leave an opening for Hoshina to just unload on him. He hits him with both cross slasher and wild slasher, makes a giant Kaido X-shaped scar on this dude's chest, takes out a huge chunk of his lower abdomen, huge chunk of his upper abdomen, all the way to the middle, straight down this dude's shoulder, straight to the middle. Both arms are lopped off. he has now turned him into nearly headless Nick from Harry Potter. This is nearly headless Kaiju number 10. His head is literally hanging on by a thread. And he's got a huge gash coming out of one of his legs, too. Hoshina literally just sat this boy down, told him to get in the corner because he's in timeout. I did not expect him to unload on him like this. I expected this to be more of like a back and forth kind of fight style chapter. No. This is 100% a one-sided fight where Hoshina gives us all of the glory that we have all been waiting for out of him. This has been 100% worth the wait. 110%. But this guy's still loving it. Kaiju number 10 has not been deterred at all by just getting mollywopped and wombo comboed by these Hoshina sword style slay techniques. Because he says this is how a fight should be. Finding somebody that is as strong as him, that can stand toe to toe with him, and trading blows back and forth. Just going at each other. This is how this guy loves to fight. And he's a kaiju. He's like Kaiju number 9. He's just reforming and regrowing. And they're just going to town. I mean, just slash after slash, punch after punch. You see Hoshina jumping off the walls like he did in the Kaiju number 8 fight. It is intense. This guy starts getting into it too. He starts screaming, rival, 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 rival. Stops. And once again, Hoshina just will not leave this arm alone. I'm guessing this dude is dominantly right-handed and throws more punches with his right hand because Hoshina just keeps targeting that thing over and over. And I'll be back in half a second. I gotta count how many pieces there are of this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14? I think I counted 14, and then the big mass that is just his shoulder has like 5 giant gashes in it too. Once again, domination. Pure 100% sit down, boy. This has been too much. This is why I told you this was too much. This was so good. I loved every single second of it. It felt like every time I turned the page, this dude was losing more and more body parts to Hoshina. Oh my god. But Hoshina's not done. He's still not done. Says, that core of yours is smaller than I expected. Not that that's really going to matter that much, because we get the glory. The sheer nirvana. That is Hoshina sword style slay technique number 6. We can't use one hand no more. This man, Hoshina, deserves 2 hands. You can take that in whatever way you want. I don't care at this point. He deserves it. We got 8-fold slasher literally turning Kaiju number 10 into a Kaiju pizza. We're having a pizza party with Kaiju body parts tonight. This is Oprah. You get a Kaiju piece. You get a Kaiju piece. You get a Kaiju piece. This is too much, man. He's just annihilating him at every turn. He literally just used a pizza cutter and cut him into 8 different slices of fucking Kaiju pizza. This is why this man is number 1. Are you impressed now, Kaiju number 10? Have you been impressed yet? You have gotten baby shaked, sat down, put in timeout, disowned, Rick James'd. Hoshina's keeping a pimp hand strong on you alone. Are you impressed yet? Because I obviously am. Okanogi is, because she's just like, he did it! And I mean, I kind of agree. That's like, man, how is this not the end? Well, Hoshina calls it. It's not over yet. And Kaiju number 10 decides to pull a Cell and try to blow himself up, assumingly with everything else. At least that's my initial thought, because you see his whole body just welling up, just growing, and it's just balls and mass just expanding on him. So I don't know if he's going to try and blow himself up and take Hoshina with him. Like I said, that's my initial thought of what's happening. I don't know if this is going to be... I mean, this is a shonen manga. This could just be a transformation into his next form. Who knows? Either way, it is a little terrifying, but I don't care. This chapter was great. This was an entire second half of Hoshina just unloading on this dude, and yeah, that's kind of what I needed. I woke up to that today, and it was absolutely glorious. That was my favorite chapter. So let me know down in the comments if this is your favorite chapter or not. Let me know whether or not Hoshina is your favorite character or not. Let me know whatever it is you want to know. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and like, subscribe. It helps a ton. And with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.